and thank you for attending this afternoon session of the ecosystems. I'm Dan Powers. Probably some of you have been in previous sessions. You've heard me introduce myself 3 times now, but I've been working at Docker about 4 years and work on partner technology issues and integration. And the last session, with Ashley, you talked about continuum, how to choose what to use. And this session, it seems going to talk about how to choose with confidence. All right. So I'd like to welcome Xavier Vello, who's has the interesting title of container zoologist. I could talk about that one at dinner. And from Datadog. And so Xavier Vello, please welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. I'm a container zoologist. I worked at Datadog as a software engineer in the container monitoring team, and my job is to integrate with Docker, Kubernetes, Mesos, Nomad, Ranchers. So basically, I eat every RC for breakfast and try to make sure we collect metrics, logs, and APM traces for you as easily as possible. I'm going to talk today about one project we did last quarter that was running container security scans. So Ashley didn't talk a lot about Twistlog, so I'm going to talk about Twistlog for him because that's one of the scanners we integrated with. Just to start, I'm with Datadog. We are a SaaS monitoring company. We monitor your metrics, your APM, your logs, and we just announced Synthetics. We are hiring, and we are in the expo hall if you want to come see a demo or discuss about anything about the talk or how to monitor containers. So what was this project? This project was ensuring our container images were secure because our monitoring is based on an agent. You install an agent on your host, and this agent is going to connect to your kubelet, to the Docker daemon, to your applications, and get metrics. So it has a pretty broad access. And it's installed on every host for every other customers, and we have thousands of customers. So security is very important for us. Make sure the agent is secure and work as intended and cannot be used to escalate privileges. One of the challenges we have with the Datadog agent is it has different moving parts in different languages. The main agent is in Go. We have integrations in Python, and we also have a Java daemon for JMX. So we want to be proactive. We want to always be on the lookout for new vulnerabilities and be as transparent as possible for our users, because our users give us lots of trust, and we have to deserve it. So we want to be as transparent as possible. So what is a container scan, a security scan? There's lots of scanners on the market. All of them, they come with a database of known vulnerabilities, known issues, good practices to apply, and you can even feed them custom compliance rules. And this comes with the scanner. And then you input your image, and it's going to dissect the image, get all the packages, get all the Python dependencies, the Java dependencies, look at file hashes and file types, and then joining the two together to see what's not great in your image. And it's going to spit out a report with vulnerabilities, with how to improve your image. And you could even use this report as a yes-no signal to block deployment if there are vulnerabilities in your image. So this is great. This is great for using in a data center. You just pull the image, you wait for the scan to complete, and then once the scan is green, you can deploy on prod. That's great. But then the issue with us was that manual scanning had some limitations. So that was the first step, discovering the system, triggering scan manually. So it's pretty easy. For every scanner, basically, you just push the image to the registry. Most of them have a custom registry you have to push to. Some of them are able to watch your own repository directly. And then you wait for 10 minutes because there's going to be lots of layers and lots of information to handle. And then you open the website, and it's still scanning 10 minutes later. So to be honest, that was kind of a frustrating experience iterating over these kind of scanners, because you change it and you update a dependency, you want a new scan, and it's taking quite a long time. And you have to repeat that for so many scanners. We wanted to do better than that. So we decided, okay, how can we automate the process to make it easier for us to have these results? So we started with automating the scan itself. So you saw I was manually pushing with my Docker CLI. I have a CI, I have a GitLab CI. So we set the GitLab CI to push images to the scanners directly. And we also set scanners that were able to scan an external repository to directly scan our Docker Hub repo. And that was great. That way you don't have to Docker push. And then we said, okay, let's start with looking at the scan results when we trigger RC1. So code freeze, we have a week of QA. At the beginning of the week, let's look at the reports. And we're going to act accordingly. And if there were any vulnerabilities, we can still act on them and repair them before the release. And then you look at, so you can set up very easily automated security scanning. And this is the GitLab task we use to mirror the images on Quay. So pretty easy, basic CI stuff. It's really easy. And then you do the math. We have currently 4 images, the agent with Java plugin, DockerCD standalone for custom metrics, and the new cluster agent for Kubernetes clusters monitoring. And we support 4 scanners, Aqua, Claire from Quay.io, the Docker Trusted Registry, and Twistlux. And we wanted to scan master, of course, but also latest, because you want to make sure you don't have vulnerabilities in your previous versions, because these are the versions that are actually running in your client's infrastructure. And that's a total of 32 reports to look at. That's way too much. And you have to go to the website and download the report and look at them. They don't have the same format. They don't have the same terminology. So we said, yeah, that does not scale. And also, RC1 is pretty late in the production cycle. We release an agent every 6 weeks. So after 5 weeks of development, we freeze, build RC1, and then we target 1 week of QA. But then what happens if there is an actual vulnerability that will delay the release, because we're probably going to need to redo a full QA cycle. And updating a dependency can be pretty simple, but you might need to update to a new minor version that could have side effects. So that was not the best for us. We did that for a few weeks, a few months, but then we decided, no, we need something else. And that's the second step of our journey with automation. We also automated the alerting. So this is step 1. We have a bunch of registries, and we have GitLab pushing images, and the registry is also watching the Docker Hub. So that's the first step. And then I said, oh, we are a monitoring company. Can we actually monitor it? So we are monitoring the registries, getting metrics and events from them, and with our alerting pipelines, triggering alerts on Slack, on email. And this allowed us to be able to get information pushed to us instead of pulling it regularly. So that was pretty simple. I won't go into the details of the check, but this is the Python code that allows me to get the metrics from Twistlux. So all the examples I'm showing are Twistlux, because this is the one scanner I've been working on, but we integrate with all the other scanners I was mentioning. And it's pretty easy. It runs every 15 seconds, get metrics, get the results of the scans. In metrics I can use, and then I can put everything in the dashboard. And I can see the images we are scanning, the severity, and also the size of the images. And this is something I can work with. And this is something that I can plug more scanners inside. Also, it's pretty easy once you have the metric to set up a monitor. So what we said is we set a monitor. If we have any vulnerability high or critical, fire up an alarm, because this is something we want to look now. We don't want to wait for RC1. We want to look at it now. And it's pretty easy to send it to Slack directly. Also, because we run the scans via GitLab, we could monitor the GitLab pipeline itself. So we get metrics from the GitLab results, and if there are failures in the scan, we can get an alert on that. I didn't want to set security scans to be blocking for the release because we are like 6 teams now contributing to the package. I didn't want the APM team to be blocked because there was a vulnerability in the Docker image. So I didn't put that blocking for the pipeline, but it's still a failure, and it's still a failure I can track. And then this is the monitor I'm using for that. So you can see in the bottom some bars. There were previous failures, and then after we remove the vulnerability, it goes back to green. So I was preparing this talk, saying, okay, how can I show how good it is actually? And October 31st, yeehaw, I got a vulnerability, so I can take screenshots. So we got October 31st, a new vulnerability is published on libtsn1. I got a Slack alert. I got the Slack alert from the registry scan. I got my CI failing, soft failing, and I can directly go to my dashboard and say, okay, I have a new vulnerability. It's on a libtsn1, and it's affecting 6 images out of the 8. Oops. Okay, let's have a look at that. I go directly to the console. This is the description of the vulnerability. It's a potential denial of service vulnerability, so it's classified as high. Okay. It's affecting libtsn 6.1. Okay. And then I can have a look at the Debian CV database because our images are based on Debian. And you see, okay, can I upgrade to a new non-vulnerable version? Nope. No new version is published. Okay. And then let's go to the notes at the bottom. And the notes say it's minor. It's high, but it's minor because it's not exploitable at runtime. Okay. So you see, this is an investigation you have to do, and you can't really do that if you are, pressed to release. We could do that because there was 3 weeks before the freeze, and we were able to take more time to investigate. So can I directly remove the package? Is it safe to remove it? apt-get depends on it. I can't remove apt-get because we have customers installing new dependencies or custom software for custom checks. So we can't remove apt-get from the image. But one thing that was interesting is in the CV description, they say the vulnerability is on ASN1 parser, which is a binary. And one of the things that's great with Debian package is they split the library, the development packages, the development headers, and the binaries. And ASN1 parser is shipped with the libtsn1 bin package. And it's not installed in the image. So basically, we're fine. That's actually false positives. What's happening here is that the CV packages, they are tracked at the source package level, libtsn1-6, and not at the binary level, not the binary package level. So that was actually a false positive. We discussed this with upstream scanners, and we decided to whitelist it. So we whitelisted it for us, and we gave documents to our customers saying, this is the investigation we did, and we consider it's a false positive, and it's safe to whitelist it. Instead of having a customer calling my support saying, oh, I can't deploy the new agent because it's blocked by the scanner. We can be proactive and communicate with them what's happening. So as soon as we whitelisted the vulnerability, the CI scans went back to green, and then the Slack notification for the registry build went back to green, and my dashboard went back to a nice blank state. So yeah, that was I think a great example of how we could do that before waiting for RC1. 3 weeks before the freeze, we were able to take some time to do that and be able to be proactive. Because had that not been a false positive, we might have wanted to maybe start a new bug fix release to patch it as soon as possible, not wait for the next release. Yep. So we ran several scanners, and we do because nobody's perfect. Nobody has the complete perfect database. So having several scanners is going to help you detect things scanner A can detect things scanner B could not detect. So it's good to have more coverage. Don't forget to scan many versions, not only master, but also what's actually running right now. Triage results as soon as possible. And this is what we did, and having results pushed to you helps being as reactive as possible. And don't forget, these are automated system. Automated system, they have the flaws and they have their false positives. So it's always good to take some time to investigate on them. Thank you very much. Do you have any question? Yes?
I would like to know if this integration that you have with Twixsoft is available for other clients of Datadog.
Come again?
Because we are using Datadog, and we are looking for some solution like this for security. So I would like to know if this solution that this integration that you have with
Twixlock, yeah.
Twixlock is available for the current customer of Datadog.
Okay, so the question was, sorry, you had the mic. Yes, so do we have this out of the box? Right now we don't. We are currently working with Twistlock and Aqua to release integrations. But if you're interested in, for example, if you actually are running Twistlock right now, I could share the check and you can start running it now without waiting for the official release. But every scanner has, they all have JSON REST APIs. So that was really easy. You look at the check, it's only authenticate, get some JSON, and serialize it, and iterate on it. So if you're interested, come see me after the talk, and we can share the code for that.
Any other questions? Raise your hand. Going once? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.